Have you ever wondered why some people seem to have it all together financially, while others struggle? It might come down to one powerful concept: delayed gratification. Shocking, right? A study from the University of California found that individuals who practice delayed gratification are 30% more likely to achieve their long-term goals. That's not just a small difference, it's a game changer. In a world filled with instant rewards, from fast food to same-day delivery, it's easy to fall into the trap of wanting everything now. But here's a staggering fact: people who indulge in instant gratification end up spending around $5,000 more each year on impulse buys. Imagine what you could do with that money if you saved or invested it instead. In this video, we'll explore the untold benefits of waiting. You'll discover how the simple act of pausing can help you build wealth, boost your happiness, and create a more fulfilling life. We'll share unique strategies you can start using today to harness the power of delayed gratification. Get ready to transform the way you think about money and spending. By the end of this journey, you'll see that patience is not just a virtue, it's your secret weapon for a prosperous future. Let's dive in. Chapter 1. The Secret Weapon: Turning Patience into Profit. Did you know that just by waiting a little, you could significantly increase your savings? The art of patience, often referred to as delayed gratification, is not just about resisting temptation, it's about turning that restraint into financial gain. A study by the National Bureau of Economic Research found that people who practiced delayed gratification with their finances had significantly more wealth by midlife compared to those who didn't. It's easy to feel like you're missing out when you don't jump on every deal. But what if I told you that waiting for a sale or researching before a purchase can save you up to 30% on many items? A 2022 survey showed that 43% of consumers regretted impulse buys, especially big-ticket items like electronics. Holding off on these purchases means you have time to evaluate if it's truly a need or a temporary want. Frugal living isn't about being cheap, it's about being smart with your money. Patience allows you to avoid the trap of instant gratification. Take groceries, for example. A 2019 study showed that families who plan meals and shop with a list save an average of $2,400 a year. Simply put, slow and thoughtful spending is a habit that builds wealth over time. Here's another trick: avoid buying right when you first want something. Sleep on it. Experts say that the 30-day rule, waiting for 30 days before making non-essential purchases, can drastically cut down on impulsive spending. It's amazing how much you no longer need after giving yourself some time to think. Chapter 2. Investment over impulse. A mindset shift nobody teaches you. Have you ever considered how much future wealth you sacrifice with every impulse buy? A $50 unnecessary purchase today could grow into over $500 in 30 years if invested with an 8% return rate, typical for long-term market returns. That's the opportunity cost of instant gratification. So instead of spending on things that don't add long-term value, consider investing. Whether it's in stocks, education, or even new skills, these are things that will pay off far more than a fleeting purchase. Author Benjamin Graham famously said, "The investor's chief problem, and even his worst enemy, is likely to be himself." By embracing patience, you're actively fighting the urge to sabotage your own financial future. To truly adopt this mindset, try this strategy. For every impulse to buy something non-essential, match that amount and put it into an investment account. Over time, you'll realize just how much potential wealth you've saved and grown. According to a 2021 report by Fidelity, individuals who regularly contributed to their investments, even small amounts, were 92% more likely to reach their retirement goals than those who did not. It's important to remember that frugal living isn't about deprivation. It's about smart choices. For example, skipping that trendy $5 coffee every morning can add up to $1,825 saved annually. If you invested that instead, you could potentially double your money in a decade. Delayed gratification doesn't just save you money, it lets you invest in a better future. Chapter 3. The Power of Purposeful Spending. Every dollar has a destiny. If you give every dollar you earn a mission, you'll be surprised how much control you gain over your finances. This is the foundation of purposeful spending, a key strategy for frugal living. It's about spending money where it truly matters, aligning each dollar with your values and long-term goals. Many people think budgeting is restrictive, but it's actually freeing. When you budget with purpose, you're telling your money what to do, instead of wondering where it went. A survey by Mint found that people who budget consistently save 20% more than those who don't. This is because they're intentional with their spending. Here's a fun fact. Americans waste an average of $18,000 annually on non-essential purchases, according to a 2019 study by Ladder. By taking control of where your money goes, you can reallocate a chunk of that waste into meaningful savings or investments. That $18,000 could grow into a six-figure sum over time if invested wisely. One easy strategy is to use the 50-30-20 rule. Allocate 50% of your income for needs, 30% for wants, and 20% for savings or investments. But here's the twist. Challenge yourself to shift some of that wants spending into savings. Even moving 5% more towards investments can accelerate your financial goals. Remember, purposeful spending isn't about cutting out all fun. It's about maximizing joy in the long term. When every dollar has a purpose, you'll find that you no longer feel guilty about spending on things that bring you genuine value. It's all about striking a balance that serves both your present and future self. Chapter 4. Slow and steady wins the game. Mastering the art of saving slower might sound counterintuitive, but it's a strategy that builds long-term financial success. When you try to save large amounts quickly, it often leads to burnout. The key to successful frugal living is making small, consistent savings that don't feel like a sacrifice. Start with micro-saving. Apps like Acorns or Capital round up your everyday purchases to the nearest dollar and invest the difference. It may seem small, but over time, it adds up. According to a 2020 study by Bankrate, people using micro-saving tools saved an average of $450 more annually without even noticing the difference in their daily spending. Here's another simple tactic. Automate your savings. Set up an automatic transfer from your checking account to a savings account each month. Even starting with just $20 a week can grow into $1,040 a year. This way, saving doesn't feel forced. It becomes a natural part of your financial routine. Frugal living isn't about aggressively cutting everything. It's about pacing yourself. Researchers at the University of Southern California found that saving too aggressively can lead to a frugality fatigue, where people end up splurging after being too restrictive. That's why saving slower but steadily can actually result in more long-term success. One unique strategy to try is the 52-week savings challenge. You start by saving just $1 in the first week, $2 in the second week, and so on. By the end of the year, you'll have saved $1,378, almost painlessly. It's a slow, gradual approach that still yields impressive results. Saving slower isn't just about money. It's about building habits. When you make small, manageable changes, they're more likely to stick. Over time, these habits will shape your financial future in ways you can't even imagine today. Chapter 5. The Joy of Waiting. How delayed gratification boosts happiness. Here's something surprising. Waiting for something can actually make you happier. It sounds odd, but research backs this up. A 2014 study published in Psychological Science found that people experienced more joy when they delayed a reward, compared to those who received instant gratification. The anticipation of the reward made it feel even more satisfying when they finally got it. Delayed gratification isn't about depriving yourself, it's about increasing the value of your experiences. Think about it. A vacation you've saved for over a year feels much more rewarding than one you book impulsively. That's because the waiting builds up anticipation and excitement. A good way to practice this is by using the 24-hour rule for purchases. If you see something you want, wait 24 hours before buying it. Most of the time, the initial urge will fade, and you'll realize you didn't need it after all. This simple trick can help reduce impulse spending and increase your financial happiness. The marshmallow test, a famous psychological experiment, showed how children who practiced delayed gratification tended to have better life outcomes, including financial success. The lesson? Patience pays off, not just financially, but emotionally too. Waiting allows you to make more thoughtful, fulfilling choices. Here's another tip. Reward yourself for practicing delayed gratification. When you wait before making a purchase, treat yourself to something small but meaningful, like extra time doing a hobby or enjoying a favorite activity. This helps reinforce the habit and makes the process enjoyable. When you embrace delayed gratification, you're not just saving money. You're boosting your overall happiness and contentment. It turns out, the old saying, "Good things come to those who wait," applies to both your wallet and your well-being. If you found this content helpful, don't forget to subscribe for more tips on achieving financial success and living a fulfilling life. By subscribing, you'll stay updated on all our latest videos, designed to empower you with practical strategies for a brighter financial future.